Hi and welcome to Northampton Wargamers on the Road. My name's Barry and we're at Wargames Workshop in Northampton, England for a semi-final match in the first UK circuit event. This match is between James Curtis on the left playing Skarbrand and George Roger on the right playing Avensis Zoo. In the last match we saw George Roger apply swift judgment to Mikey Bone. Will George Roger be renowned as the Skarbrand Slayer? Faction breakdown for semi-finals is 3 Chaos All with Skarbrand and 1 Order with Avensis Zoo. In the other semi-final match we have a repeat of Warhammer World with Hamish Chisholm-Brown versus Adam Binns in a Skarbrand mirror match. James Curtis is going first. And they just finished setup and here we go. Bloodmaster Herald of Khorne, 2 Blood Reaver Chieftains and a Skarbrand versus Avensis, 2 Lokian Princes and Lotan. It's James to go first. And here we go. There we go, health trackers in place, opportunity strike, 5 damage. First quest done on Skarbrand. And Insatiable Blood Reaver going into play. So first quest done on Blood Reaver Chieftain. So Avensis is hitting his heroic act. Flesh to Stone. It's got his card draw going. It's a Jiran realm magic, so he will never get his blessing because he needs the act shy. So Owen is just going through deck etiquette after going through and shuffling your deck. He should be offering it over to James, placing it in the middle. He did say, did you want to cut it to James? But James declined. So Achelian Barrier Guard goes into play, so he's going to negate that damage from the Insatiable Blood Reaver next turn. There we go. So Blood Reaver Chieftain doesn't get his quest, but he still heals for 2. So 2 damage from the Barrier Guard and draws a card from Flesh to Stone. We've got a Razor Shell Harpoon Alapex going into play. First quest done for Lotan. And then a Razor Shell Leviathan going into play on the Lokian Prince. So 3 champions all with their first quest done for George. So ping for 1, Blood Reaver Chieftain's Heroic Act fulfills his second quest. And then we've got Blood Fury Wrathmonger going into play. 2 damage to George and 1 to himself. George's go. Everything rotates. So 2 damage from the Razor Shell because it's on Lotan. 1 card through Flesh to Stone. Did he draw an elf card? He's got Jaws of Death, 5 damage. And then Razor Shell Leviathan. So he's discarding an Amati Reaver for a 7 damage. So he did the Jaws of Death first to do the second quest and then triggering the damage for the third quest. So rattling through his quest pretty quick. Beat back. And we get Spell Eater Curse. So normally does 4 damage, but it's increased by 2 because the Flesh to Stone was in play. So 6 damage in total. Okay, so James got ahead of himself, so he forgot to rotate. 2 damage and then 1 damage to himself. So James is mainly an app player, and you can tell that because he forgot to rotate. So James is passing and drawing 2, but we haven't done beat back yet. So Owen's going to step in and just correct the beat back because you have to move a unit. Okay, so Razor Shell Leviathan goes on Avensis, so it's going to stop any further Flesh to Stones coming out until that goes through. So 3 damage from the Razor Shell Alapex. And he's drawing 2 cards. So James's go. 2 damage to George, 1 damage to himself. It's getting close to Skarbrand time. Okay, so Furious Strike, 4 damage. Gets George down to 8. Second quest done on Skarbrand. Everything rotates. So Swift Namati Reaver goes into play. What blessing do we get? We get Hyper Snare, so 5 damage. 1 damage from the Reaver, so he's got 7 left. Has he got an elf left to finish him off for the Razor Shell Leviathan? It doesn't look like he does, otherwise he would have laid it. So not the greatest place to be in, considering Skarbrand is now under 10. So George has just asked James if he had an elf in his hand to lend him so he could finish off, so he's drawn one. So the Wrathmonger goes out of play. Furious Strike goes in. Finishes George off because it is 8 damage, even though George has only taken 5. So we're just clearing that up. There we go. So Skarbrand wins. The Blessing of Khorne was with him. So they've gone through their decks. They had 3 minutes to go through it, as per the sideboard rules. So we have a Loki Prince going into play for George. George has decided to go first. Skarbrand. And a Blood Reaver Chieftain. A Lotan, another Lokian Prince, Bloodmaster, a Blood Reaver, and Avensis again. So George has made no changes as to whether or not Scorn of Sorcery is going to come into play this time. So Avensis, so we've all seen this. Flesh to Stones coming out, get its draw. That's the one thing that can let the Volturnus deck down, is draw. So that's how this hybrid's come about. And a Razor Shell Harpoon Alapex goes into play. So Lotan is activated. Card draw coming. Okay, they're just sorting their health trackers out. Otherwise George has already lost. So we've got Insatiable Blood Reaver going into play. And a Blood Fury Wrathmonger as well. So 2 damage to George, 1 to James. So Razor Shell's going to do 2, and he's going to draw a card from Flesh to Stone. So Razor Shell Harpoon goes in. First quest done for the Lokian Prince, and the Blood Fury Wrathmonger is now dormant. Piercing Shot, 3 damage. Second quest done on Lokian Prince. So Insatiable Blood Reaver goes off. 3 damage, heals for 2. So Reckless Abandon there. So 4 damage from Reckless Abandon. So the dormant trigger, the Razor Shell Harpoon Alapex places dormant on the Blood Fury Wrathmonger, so its last stand effect will not trigger. So that's why the Harpoon Alapex has not been removed. That card is so good, it's unreal. Okay, 2 damage from the Harpoons, 3 damage from the Harpoons, all with Lotan buffs, and draws a card. So plenty of damage coming from the Order player. We've got Namati Soul Reaver going in, 2 damage. So if he manages to remove a card, remove a unit, he'll heal 2 through that Namati Soul Reaver. So Opportunity Strike's going in, only 2 damage this time, but does the third quest on Skarbrand. 1 more to go. 3 damage from that Razor Shell Alapex. So they're just sorting out the right order that the cards go into the discard. So 3 damage there. 1 from the Namati Soul Reaver. Another Flesh to Stone. So more draw coming. It needs to get a beast down on Lotan to make everybody kick up a gear. So this event was run using the Play Fusion companion app. It lets you know when the round is starting, what table you're sitting at, and who is going first. Highly recommend downloading it and checking out all the events that are listed. What you're waiting for, download the app and get involved in physical play. So, Jaws of Death going in, 5 damage. So, very tit for tat this game. So, if you're interested in joining the UK circuit and winning a trip to America, then the next one is on the 23rd of March at Fanboy 3 in Manchester. Now, Adam Binns will be in attendance at this event, so go and say hello to him because he's one of the UK's best players. Okay, so Soul Reaver does 1 and then draws a card. So George is just working out how much damage is left for Skarbrand and what he can do. Obviously, if he gets Skarbrand below 10, Skarbrand time is coming. And if you're below 19 health, you could be in trouble. Skarbrand can kill you when you're sitting on 19 health. So, George has to be very careful here. So this is what he's working out. Skarbrand's sitting on 1, his last quest, so there could be a blessing coming as well. So we've got Razor Shell Leviathan going down. Draws a card. So, lots of damage coming next turn. 7 from that Razor Shell. What's James going to do? James is... so James has got 1 more quest to do for Skarbrand. George has got 1 more quest to do on that Lokian Prince in his first lane. So, Fanatical Skullfiend coming in. 1 damage to himself. He's now on 12. 2 more for Skarbrand time. Beat back. So, what quest do you get? He gets Hyper Snare, which is good. So, 6 damage. Putting down on 11. So, beat back has not been used. It's not been noticed. So Razor Shell Leviathan has rotated. We've got a sweeping Namati Thrall going in on the Lokian Prince. We get Divine Blast, 6 damage, gains 2 health, and then 2 damage from the sweeping Namati Thrall, putting him down to 4. So just needs to discard an elf, and he's won the game. So, looks like George is in the same situation as before. He hasn't got an elf in his hand. He's played his elf card to get his blessing out. So, piercing shot for 3 puts him down to 1. So, we've got Skarbrand time coming. So, that Skull Fiend is going to rotate, do 3 damage. Down to 10. So, Furious Strike for 8. So what blessing does he get? So Outrageous Carnage for 4, then an additional 8 coming from Furious Strike. Well done, James. You're through to the final. Commiserations to George. That was a fantastic run he had there. Just, yeah, the card draw just let him down in the end. But like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you soon for the final. Bye-bye.